job creation is the most important issue. And the path to that, the proven path to that, Madam President, is tax reform. The fact is that is the one unused tool in the economic tool shed. The Federal Reserve has thrown tremendous efforts at trying to boost the economy. The Recovery Act was passed. Various steps have been taken with respect to housing. Tax reform is the one area that has not yet, from the economic tool shed, been picked up and actually used. And I think the country understands what needs to be done, certainly the Congress. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Madam President, in the 2 years after Democrats and Ronald Reagan got together on a bipartisan basis to focus on job creation, our country created 6.3 million new jobs. 6.3 million new jobs. Between 2001 and 2008, when tax policy was partisan, we only created about 3 million jobs. We've lost jobs in this last fiscal crisis, looking particularly at the measure that I cited at the end of 2010. What Senator Coates and I propose is taking away those tax breaks for exporting jobs and using those dollars for what I call, Senator Harkin, red, white, and blue jobs. Jobs that pay a good wage here in the United States, so we could get full-time employment for some of the folks who are so hard hit now and can't find more than 15, 20 hours of work a week, doesn't pay a good wage, and they can't support a family. After Democrats like Dick Gephardt got together with Ronald Reagan, in the 3 years after those reforms in the middle 80s, federal tax receipts for individuals and corporations rose by $137 billion. That is the kind of revenue-raising approach, Madam President, that Democrats and Republicans alike can support, but you don't hear a word about job growth in the private sector under cut, cap, and balance. The reality is, as Senator Coates and I have made clear in offering our bills, the tax code is larded down with so many special interest goodies and sweetheart deals, and I just touched on one, that we would actually be rewarding the export of good American jobs. What we ought to be doing is taking away these foolish tax breaks and creating ones that get the middle class back into the economy and get our companies investing in our country. Now, Madam President, it does not take a constitutional amendment to do what Dick Gephardt, Ronald Reagan, Dan Rostenkowski, Bob Packwood, and a whole host of Democrats and Republicans got together to do in the 80s. It requires Democrats and Republicans to work together to take on the special interests that currently benefit from the broken tax system. And make no mistake about it, Madam President and colleagues, those special interest groups are taking tax breaks that ought to instead go for real relief for hard-hit middle-class families and American business to create jobs here in this country. The number one issue in the country is jobs. Tax reform has a proven track record, colleagues, a proven track record. 6.3 million new jobs in the 2 years after Ronald Reagan, a conservative president, and Dick Gephardt, a populist Democrat, got together, a conservative Republican president, a populist Democrat. That's the tool that we ought to take out of the economic tool shed and use as quickly as possible.